So, I mean, in some senses, of course, the internet has just opened up new and really incredible ways to communicate and have discourse with each other. And I'm sure all of us here will engage in the Facebooking and the Twittering and all the things that I do and the rest of us do that allow us to talk about politics and scandal and American Idol and whatever else we want to talk about. Notice I didn't note the Biggest Loser. But I think it's also clear to all of us as well, anybody that engages in life on the internet, that it's been, well, put it this way, I mean, the internet is the world's greatest fact checker that was ever invented and the greatest bias confirmer that was ever invented. And those biases actually distort the actual searches that we make online, and because of course the searches that you make online are partly the result, the prompts that you get online and the rankings that you see are partly the result of preferences of other people that have searched online, and those preferences can come along with baggage. And I think what that does is it distorts this sort of information gathering ways of gathering information that we have, and I think it can therefore contribute to a certain type of bubbles. You're right, of course, bubbling or sort of polarization has been happening with human beings for ever since there were human beings, and it's certainly happening now in our society for the reasons you mentioned, for perhaps more than ever. But those ideological bubbles, right, are partly constructed because of these epistemic bubbles. In other words, we look for sources for our views that already reflect those views themselves, and that makes it more and more difficult to be able to respond to the same type of evidence. So one of the conditions I think we have to fight back to is this idea that there is some sort of common standards of evidence and truth that we can look to. I mean, that's a very difficult thing to do, but that's what I'm thinking, yeah.